The Vancouver Canucks are officially open for business, but with a roster full of high-priced veterans and no move clauses, the path to a successful rebuild is anything but simple. From Elias Pettersson's massive contract to Connor Garland's looming July 1st deadline, this management group is facing some of the toughest decisions in franchise history. Today, we're breaking down 7 key players and deciding, do we trade them for assets or do we keep them to lead the new era? Let's go ahead and just dive right into it.
Matt Announcer here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Oilers. You've got it locked in the line change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
We're Canucks Nation. Welcome back to the Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast. We're approaching the NHL trade deadline, and the Canucks are motivated sellers. I know you've been hearing that a lot, and you might be sick and tired of hearing that, but it's a reality. It is a reality. It's where we found ourselves at this point in the season. But being a seller is hard when your roster is packed with players in their late 20s on long-term deals with trade protection. Management says they aren't proactively shopping everyone, but at the bottom of the standings, nobody except for maybe, Filip Hronek is truly off the table. Let's start off with the 7 trade or keep veteran cases with, the big one, Elias Pettersson. Let's take a look at the case for keeping him. We know the ceiling. Pettersson has played like a top 10 center before, plus his contract is so front-loaded that by 2030, he's actually a cheap asset for a budget team. Let's take a look at the case for trading him. Has a relationship with the fans soured too much? You tell me. If he isn't the face of the franchise for the next era, the time to move on is now. But having said both of those, let's take a look at the verdict. And for now, we're going to say keep him. There's no rush. His structural sell window in a few years makes him a safer hold than he looks today. Next up, we have Brock Boeser, the longest tenured Canuck. Let's take a look at the case for keeping him. He just signed a long-term deal, and his trade value is currently at an all-time low. He loves the city, and, the fans love him too. Not to mention, he just got engaged, and so he's planting roots here in Vancouver. But let's take a look at the other side and the case for trading him. He does turn 29 this week. If his skating slows down further than it already is in his 30s, that contract becomes an anchor during our window to compete, which is not so great. But let's take a look at the verdict, and we're going to say keep him and resuscitate his value first. Find him a playmaking center and see if he can find his scoring touch again before exploring the market. Next up, we have Filip Hronek, the quote-unquote untouchable. Let's take a look at the case for keeping him. Management views him as their best skater and leader. He eats minutes and insulates young guys like Z. Bouillon. Let's take a look at the case for trading him, just for the sake of it. He's your most valuable trade asset. If the rebuild takes 3 to 4 years, Hronek will be past his peak when you're actually ready to win. But again, we have our verdict, and mostly we're going to say keep. Unless a team offers a, king's ransom for him, his leadership on a young blue line is just too valuable to lose right now. Not to mention, Canucks are kind of eyeing him as the next captain for the team. So that's probably a reason why they don't want to let go of Filip Hronek, unless, again, someone has like a king's ransom or absolutely blows them away with an offer. Not to mention, he's made it known he doesn't want to go anywhere. So there's that. So far, we're at 3 for 3 when it comes to the keep column. Will this next veteran change that? Guess let's find out. Connor Garland is the next one, and let's take a look at the case for keeping him. He's a relentless worker and a reliable play driver. That high motor is exactly what you want around rookies. But let's take a look at the case for trading him. His no-move clause kicks in July 1st. If you don't trade him now, you're stuck with 7 no-move clauses on a rebuilding team. And that is something you do not want. So let's take a look at the verdict. We're going to say trade. It's about risk management. You cannot enter a rebuild with your hands tied by that many unmovable contracts. And I've obviously changed my stance on this. Obviously I was real big on keeping Garland because of, that veteran leadership, whatnot. But I've kind of loosened on that. And I do feel as though Garland needs to be traded. And he can probably get you at least something. At least better than maybe what Kane might get you, or a Bluger, or maybe even Camp. I guess we'll see. Next up, we have Jake DeBrusk, who is the playoff performer. Let's look at the case for keeping him. Fastest skater on the team and a great locker room presence. The case for trading him, he's 29, just like Brock Besser, and has been a healthy scratch this season. He just maybe doesn't fit the long-term timeline. Let's take a look at the verdict, and it's trade. His speed and playoff track record will net a decent draft pick from a contender, hopefully. Next up, we have Marcus Pettersson, whom we've talked about before, and let's take a look at the case for keeping him. He's a pro's pro. His game is built on IQ and size, which ages better than pure speed at this point. Let's take a look at the case for trading him. He's turning 30 and plays a high-risk defensive style, not to mention his abysmal play this year. I know I've even been on this guy's case and how this guy is absolutely terrible, and I have said that the Canucks should entertain the idea of trading him. But we're going to say, with our verdict, we're going to say for now, and I absolutely hate to say this, but keep him. Don't sell low after a tough season. Wait 2 years when his contract becomes much easier to move and his no-move clause drops to a 15-team no-trade list. Next up, we have Kevin Lankinen. And let's take a look at the case for keeping him. With Thatcher Demko's health a massive question mark, which is definitely a huge question mark at this point, you need a credible NHL goalie just to stay competitive. And Lankinen gives that to you. But let's look at the other side and take a look at the case for trading him. Spending $13 million in net for a basement-dwelling team is, well, bad for business. But let's take a look at the verdict, and we're going to go with keep. Given the uncertainty in goal, Lankinen is a necessary safety net for at least another 16 months until his trade protection relaxes somewhat. But I will admit I am not 100% sure on this one, simply because, as you know, I've become a big fan of Tolopilo. And while I'd absolutely hate to see the Canucks go through another Sealob scenario this summer, then again, the possibility of having 3 goalies next season is there. But it is quite cringeworthy and, though not really ideal to do that. But that may be the path that the Canucks may have to go on if they want to keep Tolopilo around and aren't keen on trading Langton. We all know there's no chance they're trading Demko. So it's literally trade Tolopilo or trade Lankinen. You guys know how I feel. I obviously would pick trade Lankinen, at least in my opinion anyway. Let me know what you guys would do. Would you trade Lankinen or Tolopilo if you had a choice? And it was between just those two. But that being said, the Canucks have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart. Trading everyone at once just isn't a rebuild. It's a fire sale. But managing those July 1st deadlines for guys like Garland is where this management group will truly be tested. Who do you think is the must trade on this list? Let me know down in the comment section down below. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the Line Change, and be sure to have your notifications turned on so you don't miss more in-depth analysis of your Vancouver Canucks. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere. Once again, drop your comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next line change.